Welcome to JS's Trainings on Stocks and Shares. Let me begin with a situation almost every investor knows. You open your portfolio in the morning. The screen is red. Not mildly red, but deeply red. One stock is down 20%. Another is down 30%. And instinctively, almost automatically, a thought hits you. Oh no, I've lost money! That reaction is human. It is emotional. And it is completely understandable. But it is also the wrong conclusion. At that moment, you have not lost any real money at all. Not a single rupee has left your bank account. Nothing has been taken away from you. What you are seeing is not a loss. What you are seeing is the market changing its mind. To understand this properly, we must first understand what a share price actually is. A share price is not money. It is not wealth. It is not even value in the strict sense. A share price is simply the market's latest opinion about a company's shares. That opinion changes every second because it is driven by news, fear, hope, interest rates, global cues, social media chatter, and sometimes plain overreaction, not to mention demand and supply of those shares. At its core, the price of a share is the valuation of hope. It reflects what people collectively believe the company might be worth in the future. When hope increases, prices rise. When hope weakens, prices fall. But hope itself is not cash. And it never was. This distinction matters more than most investors realize. When the price of a share you own falls, nothing tangible has happened to you. Yet, your bank balance is exactly the same as it was yesterday. The number of shares you own has not changed. The company has not taken money out of your pocket. Only a number on a screen has changed. What has actually happened is that the market has repriced the stock. Based on new information or changing sentiment, or just some large investors wanting to exit their holdings to book profits, the market is now willing to pay less than it was earlier. That change in willingness is not the same thing as a loss. When you choose to sell, that's when the loss truly becomes tangible. Until then, it is not booked. It is not crystallized. It is not permanent. It is simply a disagreement between the price you paid and the price the market is offering today. Now let me make this real with an example everyone understands. Think of Reliance Industries. There have been multiple phases in its history when the share price corrected sharply. Sometimes oil prices collapsed. Sometimes global markets panicked. Sometimes heavy capital expenditure made investors nervous. And sometimes expectations simply ran too far ahead of reality. During those phases, shareholders saw frightening red numbers on their screens. But ask yourself this honestly. Did Reliance suddenly stop owning refineries? Did its telecom network disappear overnight? Did its retail presence vanish? Did its cash flows evaporate in a single quarter? Of course not. The business remained. What changed was the market's short-term confidence about how fast value would be unlocked. Investors who sold during those panic phases converted temporary repricing into permanent loss. Investors who understood the difference between price and value allowed time to work in their favor. Now let us bring this down from a large-cap comfort zone to a mid-cap reality where emotions are even harder to manage. Consider Aarti Industries. There have been long stretches when its share price corrected sharply. Sometimes chemical cycles turned. Sometimes global demand slowed. Sometimes margins came under pressure. And suddenly, narratives flipped from admiration to doubt. During those declines, many investors assumed something was fundamentally broken. But in several of those phases, factories were still running, long-term contracts still existed, customer relationships were intact, and core capabilities had not vanished. What had changed was not the business. What had changed was the valuation of hope. Mid-caps magnify this experience. Prices swing harder. Narratives shift faster. And emotional pressure is far more intense. But the principle does not change. A falling share price is not proof of failure of the business. It is an invitation to re-examine your thesis. Here, I'd invite you to watch my video on averaging down your costs. The link is in the description below. Now comes the uncomfortable truth that separates investors from speculators. When you bought a share, you assigned a value. You decided that at that price, the company was worth owning. That decision may have been based on fundamentals, technicals, growth expectations, or long-term vision. But regardless of the method, it was your judgment. When the share price falls after you buy, the market is questioning that judgment. It is saying, I no longer agree with your valuation, at least for now. That does not automatically mean you were wrong. It only means the market disagrees with you today. At this point, one of three things must be true. Either your original assessment was flawed, or the market is overreacting, or time has not yet revealed who is right. Most investors panic because they confuse being questioned with being defeated. They sell not because the business failed, but because the discomfort became unbearable. Selling feels like relief, but that relief often comes at the cost of long-term damage. Markets do not force losses on you. They merely offer prices. It is fear-driven action that converts volatility into permanent loss. Now let me be clear about one thing. Holding through a fall is not blind faith. If the business fundamentals remain intact, if the original reason you invested still holds, and if the fall is driven by valuation rather than survival risk, then holding is not stubbornness. It is discipline. Many of the best wealth-creating stocks tested patience before they rewarded it. But not every fall deserves patience. If the business model breaks down, if debt becomes dangerous, if management credibility erodes, or if your original thesis collapses, then holding on is no longer investing. It is hoping. And hope without evidence is dangerous. Exiting in such cases is not failure. It is maturity. The objective in investing is not to avoid losses altogether. That is impossible. The objective is to avoid staying wrong for too long. So the next time a share price falls, do not immediately ask how much money you have lost. Ask whether the business has changed or whether only the market's mood has shifted. A falling share price is not a verdict. It is a question. And until you answer that question by selling, the loss exists only on a screen, not in your life. Remember this calmly and clearly. Markets do not take your money. Your decisions do. Price is temporary, value is debated, and loss remains optional until you sell. If this video helped you think more clearly and react more calmly, please consider liking it. That small action helps this message reach investors who need clarity instead of panic. And if you want more grounded, experience-driven conversations about markets, investing, and decision-making, subscribe to the channel. This is not about excitement or tips. It is about staying sane while building wealth. Until the next one, stay rational, stay patient, and let time do the heavy lifting. My channel is dedicated to helping investors make sane and safe decisions.